Hello everyone, welcome to my newest Let's Play, Mega Man 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, played here on the Wii Virtual Console. This game introduces a lot of new things that become staples in the Mega Man series from here on out. The first is the slide mechanic. When on flat ground, Mega Man can press down and A, down the jump button, and he'll slide. This allows him to cover distance a little bit faster, and it also allows him to squeeze into some areas that he couldn't walk into. It also introduces Mega Man's robot dog, Rush. In Mega Man 1, we had the Magnet Beam. Mega Man 2, we had items 1, 2, and 3 to help Mega Man get to places he couldn't get to. In this game and many games forward, we're going to have Rush, the robot dog. And he basically allows Mega Man to do different things. In Mega Man 3 here, we have the Rush Coil, which you start out with automatically, which allows Mega Man to jump higher and get to higher places. And then when he beats one of the Robot Masters, Shadow Man, he gets the Rush Marine, which is like a submarine, allows Mega Man to traverse underwater sections easily. And then when he defeats Needle Man, he'll get the Rush Jet, which is kind of like a sled, like item 2 in the last game. Now I'm going to start off the game here with a password. If we use a red dot in A6, it'll fill up us with the max amount of energy tanks, 9. So it just gives us a little bit of an advantage. I remember reading about this trick back in Nintendo Power way back in the day, so it's amazing what you kind of remember from your time as a kid. But I let the intro play out there a little bit because I like the intro song there. It's kind of low-key at first, and then it gets really heavy, really fast tempo, like just get you in the mood to play the game, like time to get into some action here. Now, like Mega Man 2, when we first start off, we have a choice of 8 different robots to go into. If you look at the robot weaknesses, you'll notice that 2 robots, Top Man and Magnet Man, both only take 14 shots to defeat with your regular default pea shooter. All the other robots take 28, so it makes sense to start out with either Magnet Man or Top Man. Magnet Man has a much better weapon, but he's a little bit harder than Top Man, where Top Man, even though he doesn't give a really good weapon, he's much easier than Magnet Man, and defeating Top Man will give us a weapon that'll basically allow us to unlock one of the better weapons in the game, if not the best weapon. So I'm going to use the Rush Coil right off the bat here to jump up and use my slide to get under that little hole, and then I can refill Rush Coil weapon energy with that refill. So you have those little screw enemies there. They will not hurt you until they fully form, but they are kind of annoying. So luckily in that screen previously we can just slide past them. We use the Rush Coil to get up here, take out this med enemy that's driving a bulldozer. And we can slide in here, get a 1-up, and a big, large energy refill. Got the Hard Hat Hooligan Mets here. They're another staple of the Mega Man series. And we have our first little mini-boss here, this cat. He's going to shoot out like 2 balls of yarn. Just jump over the yarn, shoot him with 10 shots, you'll take care of him. After a while, the yarn will disappear, and then he'll like release fleas from his back. I'll show that off in the next one, so. Yep, here's our second mini-boss here. There's a lot of mini-bosses in this game. This game is also notorious for its mashing. A lot of enemies take a lot of hits to take down, so you have to be, if you want to take them out real quickly, you got to be really good at hitting the fire button really quick. I'm not so good at that, but we do get a weapon later that basically functions as a machine gun, so that will help out. But we're almost here at the end of the Top Man stage, which looks more like a greenhouse, but I don't know. Maybe they had this stage designed, and then they got the submissions for Robot Masters, and they just changed a few things up on it to make it like a top stage. Maybe they were going for like a initially like Plant Man stage, but I don't know. Plant Man will make his debut in Mega Man 5. But here's Top Man. It's not too hard. What he does is he shoots out these 3 tops at you. You can easily avoid the tops when they come at you by sliding away. And similar to Heat Man, after he shoots and you shoot him for a little bit, he'll go into like an invincibility spin, and you just have to jump over them. Then when he stops, you can shoot him again. So, and we'll with his defeat, we end up getting the top spin, which is a kind of a unique weapon. It's very powerful, but it's awkward to use. Basically, what you have to do is you have to jump, and when you're in the air, you press the B button, your fire button, and you spin like a top. It can almost one-shot pretty much anything, but the two main issues is if you don't time things right, you'll take contact damage, and two, when you hit something, there's a little bit of a pushback. So I'll mention about that pushback, a negative about that pushback coming up here in this stage. Speedrunners use it, the top spin, to get through this one section in this stage real quickly. But if you're not like a pro with the top spin, it's just much easier to take your time. And it has to do with that pushback. So you have more of these little hopping enemies, and then the bulldozer mets. And here's another new thing brought onto the Mega Man series, starting in Mega Man 3. We have Brakeman, or also known as Proto Man. Some people, I guess, call him Brakeman because you tend to have these little fights with him, and then after you defeat him, he breaks a portion of the stage, allowing you to go further into the stage. He was originally known as Blues in Japan to go with the musical theme of Mega Man. You know, in Japan, Mega Man is Rockman, his sister is Roll, so rock and roll. Then there's other robots like bass, treble, but I guess they figured in America, if you named the robot Blues, but he was red, it would cause some confusion. So they just named him Proto Man, Brakeman. So we have a weird section here. We got these like lights that are on the screen. You shoot the lights to make the lights turn on. So yeah, when the lights are present, it turns all dark. So annoying these grenade enemies. I kind of got stuck there in a little bit. But you try to want to shoot ahead of you. Try to shoot those grenade enemies right as they appear on the screen, because as you can see, when you hit them, they blow up and they cause an explosion. And the explosion's pretty wide, and it can deal a decent amount of damage to you. So here we're going to get into a part in just a few screens that I was mentioning about the top spin the speedrunners use. So we're going to get to this point where there's going to be a bunch of pits where we jump over lava. These parachuting guys come down. If you have the top spin, you can just jump into them and top spin into them, and it instantly defeats them. But if you don't time it right, the pushback will push you back into the pit. So for me, and I guess for less skilled players, it's easier just to sneak to the edge of the platform on the right, jump forward a little bit, turn around, and that causes one of the parachute enemies to jump down, and then you just turn around and shoot them from afar. This one's kind of tricky here. As soon as you jump, you want to slide, because if you don't hit that guy, he's going to knock you into the pit. So we got these dragonflies. They come down to your level. We've got a little extra energy. That's good. And now we're going to pull out our top spin and take out Shadow Man. So even though we didn't get the good magnet missiles from Magnet Man, we're going to get the Shadow Blade here, which is kind of a nerfed metal blade. 4 spins of the top spin takes Shadow Man out. But the Shadow Blade, a lot of people consider the best weapon in this game. It's basically like the metal blade. You can't shoot it down, down right, and down left. But the other 5 directions, left, straight up, upper right, and right, you can shoot. It doesn't go as far as the metal blade, but it's still the ability to shoot in 5 directions makes it a very versatile weapon. So we'll get quite a good use out of it, including to take out our 3rd robot boss, Sparkman. So, got this little electrical theme going on here. We have these annoying little things here. You can't destroy them, so you just got to kind of avoid them. Unfortunately, not in this stage, but in a later stage, when you run into them, we'll be able to despawn them by scrolling back the screen, but not so much here. So we have this game's version of the Sniper Joes, the shield enemies. They can't be hurt. Well, the shield enemies can't be hit until they lower their shield. Those guys can't be hit when their eye is closed. So you just gotta wait for them to open their eye, and then they open their eye a few seconds before they throw their hammer, and then while their hammer is being flying across the screen, their eye is open. So that's your time to hit them. We use our rush coil again up here to get to this higher ledge. You also notice we have the RM there. That's the Rush Marine. We'll use that in the Gemini Man stage. That's our first opportunity to really use it to go through some water, but we will not be fighting Gemini Man in this video. In this game, there's actually 2 robot weakness chains. The first one is Top Man, then Shadow Man, then Spark Man, then Magnet Man, then Hard Man. And then you have a second weakness chain of 3 robots, Gemini Man, Needle Man, and then Snake Man. So, that garbage you can just like quickly slide through, but if you get stuck behind it, you can destroy them like I just showed you right there. Here's where the Shadow Blade is going to come in handy. We're just going to take our time here, jump forward, and try to summon out one of these screw type enemies. Shadow Blade lets us hit them from different angles. And before we jump on these red platforms to shoot up into the spikes, we're just going to kind of scroll forward a little bit, summon these things, and then destroy them from the safety of the platforms. This last one we can just slide right by. That way we don't have to worry about them potentially knocking us off the red platforms. So Sparkman has 2 forms of attack. He'll either shoot out the sparks in 8 directions or shoot one of these really big sparks. All of them are pretty easy to avoid, and he doesn't take too many shots with the Shadow Blade, so you can pretty much just sit there and spam Shadow Blades at him, and as long as you have a decent amount of energy, you'll be able to take him out. And that gives us our 3rd weapon, the Spark Shock. The Spark Shock kind of functions similar to the Ice Beam from the first game. It doesn't really damage enemies. It more or less is, I guess you can figure it's the electric shock. Short circuits or like overrides the enemy's electrical system. So it's like an ion cannon in Star Wars. So you can kind of freeze enemies with it. It's not a very useful weapon, but it does have its uses against some bosses. So, but it's probably the least used weapon out of all of them. It just shoots a big, ball of electricity out. And here we have our second Proto-Man fight. There's going to be 5 times when we run into Proto-Man. 4 times in the robot stages, and then he has his own little mini stage on his own. However, we only have to fight him 4 times. When we run into him in Gemini Man stage, we don't have to fight him. He just breaks the passage for us. These spring enemies, if you get close to them, they kind of get all crazy and spring out at you. They're blue missiles you can destroy with your arm cannon, so you can fill up with some energy there if you get lucky. Now, Magnet Man, he's a magnet thing, so we gotta have some magnets in his stage. So they're introduced on this screen here, as you can see. When you get close to them, they pull you into them. Not too much trouble right here, but they're going to be a little bit of an issue in the upcoming section down here, where we have Yoku blocks. So for the most part, you want to jump on the next Yoku block that appears, but there's a few times when you don't want to do that. So here's where the things get real tricky. We're trying to jump there, but that magnet's pulling us away, so it can make it a little tricky. You want to jump on the right Yoku block, wait a little bit, and then hop up at the timing right and end up on that one that appears. So it's kind of tough because that magnet keeps pulling us off. But we'll eventually get it. Luckily there's no enemies here, so we're pretty safe. And then we have another little difficult section here because the magnet's trying to pull us off. But not too bad. Now this one is tricky. You never want to jump down on that low one, because if you jump down on that low one, the magnet's going to pull you away. So you just wait till that 3rd one's about to appear, then jump on that. So yeah, that's one where you don't jump on the next Yoku block. You go from 1 to 3 to 4. We'll just pull out our Shadow Blade here so we can shoot this guy diagonally. And then we're almost here at Magnet Man. Now, Magnet Man, he has two weaknesses. You can either defeat him with the Shadow Blade or the Spark Shot. Either one of them takes only 4 hits to do. We'll do the Spark Shot right here, and then when we no surprise, we're gonna have to refight the robots eventually. And when we do, I'll show off how to use the Shadow Blade. So he has 2 attacks. He kind of jumps across the screen at you, and he'll jump up into the air and he'll shoot 3 magnet missiles at you, which home in on you. And the other attack is sometimes he'll stay on the ground and he'll activate like a shield that pulls you toward him. He's trying to do some contact damage. But we get some magnet missiles, and just like his magnet missiles are, when you shoot them out, they home in on an enemy that's made of metal. So, and with that, we have defeated the first 4 robot bosses. And here's our password, and we'll enter that to take out the remaining 4 robot monsters in our next episode. Take care, have a good day. Bye.